This time, we're talking fillers. Are they a good idea or not? We've got answers to all of your questions. And then, in our relationship segment, we're talking about gaslighting. Stay tuned, my friends. This is a show you don't want to miss. Externally, I wanted to look a certain way, but internally, I wasn't happy. I've had so many procedures, so many treatments, more than I can count. I started to really focus on doing things for my body that made me feel good. I decided to write my book to share this knowledge, and people have really resonated with it. And that night at 5 in the morning, there's a girl at the front door. I was able to figure out what a narcissist was because I was married to a narcissist.
There's some stuff in there I'm very surprised that you're talking about.
I can spot the red flags now from a mile away. I want the viewers of my show to walk away feeling great about themselves and feeling empowered. I'm going to incorporate my story as well in the show, but I also am very interested in learning about other people's stories.
I love your honesty and your genuineness. That's what makes you so authentic and real and why people want to talk to you.
Watch Party's Over. It's going to be fun, informative. We're going to have a great time. Party's over. I'm here with my friend Vida, and we're going to dive right in with Denise Santoli, a highly skilled injector who knows all there is to know about fillers. She's going to share with us today the difference between using filler and Sculptra and explain the different uses of filler. So Denise, can you explain to us the different uses of fillers?
Yes, depending on what the person has for a need, whether it's like skin laxity or loss of volume, the application of hyaluronic acids versus biostimulators, which would be in the category of Radiesse and Sculptra, and also a combination can be used as well. But if someone has like just a lot of laxity, you can't just use a hyaluronic acid because it's just going to weigh down their skin and everything will sag.
And which filler do you like the best for, let's say, the face?
Well, I mean, I really like to sculpt a face, like to get, back the definition and put things back in their proper plane. I really love Radiesse, for the cheekbones, along the jaw, and, the HAs, I prefer for like lips and, like small little wrinkles, but I don't like to load a face up with a lot of hyaluronic acid because it just ends up being swollen and you lose definition. I don't really like that face that just looks swollen.
We have so many people asking all the time, should I use Sculptra or should I use something else? And I tell them to use Radiesse. Can you explain the difference between Radiesse and Sculptra?
Yeah, the biggest difference is Sculptra is purely a biostimulator, and the way it works is it's an acid, it's poly-L-lactic acid. So when it's injected, it causes irritation to the tissue. So by way of irritation, it triggers the inflammatory response, and then hopefully fibroblasts are grown and you get a collagen response. But it also comes with a lot of side effects like nodularity and hyperpigmentation, whereas Radiesse is very, very precise. You inject it, it's a combination of a filler and a biostimulator. So the calcium hydroxyapatite is the filler component, and it's in a gel matrix. So you inject it, and so you have a very, very even distribution of this scaffolding, and then the fibroblasts go in and create collagen all through that distribution of that even scaffolding. So you get a very nice, like, immediate response from the filler, so you get some volume, and then it grows for an entire year. And it also grows elastin, not just collagen, whereas Sculptra only grows collagen.
I tell people all the time that you'll be very disappointed if you use the Sculptra instead of the Radiesse because you're not getting the instant
Exactly.
results.
Sandra, what do you have in your face right now? Like, what do you do? like it's not disappointing. So, like, what do you have?
We do a multi, treatment approach because that's usually the best, where you limit the side effects of just using a monotherapy. And, like for lifting, we like the barb threads and Nova threads. And for loss of volume, of course, the lips, we like, a Juvederm product. And, under the eyes, like we, use a toxin. She prefers Dysport. It works better for her.
So basically I have all of the above except for Sculptra.
Yeah. but not Sculptra.
No, so let's talk about Sculptra.
Didn't you do
Yeah.
Sculptra though? Like I recall a period where you had a lot
I
of
did.
Sculptra.
I did, Denise, explain
Right.
the sculpture that I did. I did it in my elbows and I did it in my backside, my,
Yeah.
Your rear end.
my rear end.
Yeah.
It was a disaster.
Yeah, I
So
didn't inject her elbows.
She didn't inject my elbows, but somebody from her office did. And the nodules that were formed
Horrible.
were horrible. So
Yeah.
that started the process for me to get the elbow surgery.
Yeah, it's a very bad. You never put it near like a flexure, like something that's constantly in motion and bending, like an elbow or a neck can be a big problem too. And also around the mouth, you can never want Sculptra near a mouth because that's a circular muscle, so it'll just aggregate the product. It'll look like a granuloma. So it's not the best, as far as predictability, and has a high reaction profile because it's an acid.
So for somebody that hasn't had filler before and they want filler for the first time, how long do you think it normally would last for that person?
Well, it depends on the product. Like even the HAs, like depending on the G prime and the cross linking, the tighter the cross linking is, the more impervious it is to hyaluronase, the enzyme that breaks it down. And age is a factor, of course. Do they smoke? Do they work out a lot? Those things that can cause a lot of oxidative stress deteriorate the longevity of the product.
So for
So
example,
it kind of depends on their look. Like if they're an OnlyFans girl and they want gigantic lips, they're gonna want something very highly cross-linked like Voluma. And if it's someone that's just, like a working professional that wants a very subtle, no one notices, just, refresh, then they might use something not as cross-linked, like a Juvederm Ultra.
So what age do you think people should start doing this? Like for instance, I'm 43 and I have no filler. Am I doing myself a
Right.
huge disservice or am I actually being smart about it?
No, I mean, you look like you have like more of an olive complexion, so your collagen is good, so it's more intact. But I think there is a benefit to starting earlier and just being very, like regimented about it, not going overboard, but kind of preventatively, like preventing like dynamic lines from forming, like from expressions. So like a little bit of Botox can really help. And then for someone that doesn't really want a face full of filler, I would choose like Radiesse because you'll get that sculpted, carved look without looking like weird, like not like yourself. Or even a thread. It doesn't make you look strange. You'll look like you, just kind of like you went back a little bit, like 10 years.
you're just enhanced a little.
Yeah, no
But in a
distinction.
natural way.
I hate overly filled faces. It irritates me so much when I see these women with overly filled faces. Like I look at them and I'm like, what were you thinking? Like this doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And that balloon
Like, they looked better
face, like
before,
the
right?
pillow face, oh, so bad.
Denise has a wide variety of clients. So she sees everyone.
Like, do people actually like pillow face though? Like, does somebody look in the mirror and actually
No,
like that?
I don't like it.
I mean, I don't like it, but I
think
think that there's
something-
people that like it.
No, they
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, and it's bad. They
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing that.
Let's talk about the lips that you exaggerate and the peach area.
Yeah. It's like a dysmorphia.
Wait,
that
what?
I think
That's a
that
thing?
their baseline becomes like the last filler injection they had. So as soon as it goes down a little bit from that, even though they're still big, they have to get more,
Can we rewind,
Denise,
people?
let's rewind
Wait,
for a
rewind.
second.
We need to rewind.
Okay.
Wait, people fill.
Yes.
No.
So Denise, let's talk
Oh.
about all the different areas where people fill. Let's talk about
yeah.
when they come in for the peach.
Oh yeah, well, certain people that are in like adult entertainers, they'll get filler like down by their genitalia, and certain positions like they take photographs in, they like something to be really like protruding. So it's like it's mods. They're into like the mods. They like everything looking mods, like not not normal. They like it to be like enhanced. So
Are there
it's kind of like
injectors
huge
that
boobs, huge lips,
specialize?
and then they want that like down below too to be kind of extra enhanced.
Denise specializes in that area.
In the peach?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I know
Peach
how to
filling?
do it. It's just not, it's within reason. It's just things
you
aren't
done
your
this?
taste all the time, but it's like it's like a haircut. It's not good unless they're happy. So it has to be, you have to be accommodating within reason, but not like promote their dysmorphia if it's just self-destructive. I think you have to say that, okay, that's enough for right now.
So it's
You
a
know,
fine
just
line.
take a break.
Does it impact like their partner?
No, I mean, because HAs are soft. It's not, it's not something that's like, in the way or anything like that. It just looks pronounced. Like if you had a giant lips on your face, how, it just looks like they're very big and they have like a high G prime.
So Denise, let's talk about the different areas where you do filler.
I mean, there's really nowhere you can't do filler. Like if someone has skin laxity or like a defect from liposuction that left with like a curving and a valley. And, if someone has scars, acne scars, Radiesse is great for that. Necks, arms, legs, stomachs, backs. You can use a biostimulator anywhere. And my go-to biostimulator is of course Radiesse because the side effect profile is not there. The immediate improvement is there, and you don't get the nodularity, and it grows for a whole year versus 90 days with Sculptra. So to me, it's like a no-brainer to pick that one. There's Bellafill too. That's another one that's, it's not a biostimulator, but a lot of people ask for it in their butts because it lasts 5 years. But the part that lasts is the plastic beads, the polyacrylate. If you had collapsed vocal cords and you can't talk, they'll inject Radiesse under a fluoroscopy to make your vocal cords stand back up. And Radiesse looks like bone on an x-ray. It's just white. And hyaluronic acid, you can see on an ultrasound, you can just see it. It's just gel. And all the water aggregates towards it. So that's why you get so much volume from the hyaluronic acid. It's like Juvederm, Restylane.
But that goes away, correct? Like after time.
Technically,
But the bone does not go
they
away.
say
That's
okay,
always there, right?
fillers are supposed to last 1 to 2 years, but you can see them on ultrasound like 5 years later. That's why overfilling is such a problem, because people think, oh, it's time, but really they still have filler left in there. So if you keep adding and adding to the same area, it's just going to migrate somewhere else that you didn't want it.
And that's the big
That's
issue
the
that we
problem.
see.
Yeah,
we
you look
see
like you have a
women
beach ball face.
migrating,
So
and then they look like a pie.
yeah,
Or she
it's
said
just-
beach ball.
It's just round and it has no
There you go.
definition. You need that projection and the concavity of a face to for the beauty of a face. It has to have the high projection in the cheeks and then hollows. That's the way it's supposed to be, sculpted. If
How
you try to
much-
change that,
Sandra, how much filler did you do before your facelift?
I did a lot of filler, not with Denise before my
Yeah.
facelift.
Was it an
I made a
issue?
lot of mistakes. So because of that Y lift that I did, he pie faced me. So it took a long time to dissolve. And then I did the facelift. And then fast forward, I met Denise, and now we just do a little bit each time I
Yeah.
go.
So I saw this thing on Instagram, and I know not a reliable source, but it was basically saying that all these women, they get all this filler, have a lot of problems when they go to get their facelift. Did you have that?
I didn't have the problem because I dissolved all of it before the
Okay.
facelift. But that's the beauty of filler as opposed to Sculptra, because you can dissolve it.
But Sculptra, you can't,
can't.
because that's
That's
a
why-
stimulator.
That's why
it's
when
growing in you.
yes. So when everybody asks me, should I do filler, should I do Sculptra, I always say Radiesse.
Okay.
But Denise
Like
and
it's
I
something-
use filler everywhere, so I use it
it's
in
sprinkling.
all
It's not
areas.
a lot. It's just like
it's
kind of
perfect.
catching things that are maybe starting to like sag a little bit or lost a little volume. Never overload a space. It's not
Denise
good.
has done my private areas, and
Yeah, but just not to be a porn star.
There you have it.
but not like a peach.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
private, but very minimal. Very Denise.
Yeah,
little
exactly.
tweak.
Just restorative. That's all.
Thank you so much, Denise. This was
Okay.
amazing.
All right. Have a great day, you guys.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
If you like what you're hearing on the podcast, why not share it with your friends? And subscribe to our show and stay in the loop. You'll get new episodes the minute they drop and keep our community growing. We'll be right back. Ever had a friend who left you questioning your sanity? One minute you're standing in your truth, the next you're apologizing for things you didn't even do. That's gaslighting. And believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Vida, let's define gaslighting so people know up front what we're talking about. It's a form of manipulation that makes you question your own reality.
I feel like this is a really hot button, trendy term. Like, what is gaslighting? So you just gave us the textbook definition of gaslighting, but what is gaslighting to you?
I feel the same as the definition, where I've been gaslit so much in my life where I feel like, am I crazy? I thought this happened this way, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misinterpreted?
I know we've talked about this a couple of times, but I just think it's something that means so much to you, and so many people out there can relate. Can you give an example of when you were gaslit in your personal life?
I can. I think this is a form of gaslighting where my ex came to me and said, I'm not attracted to you anymore because we have fundamental differences. And I didn't even understand what he meant by fundamental differences. So I asked him, like, okay, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, you're always complaining because you can't find your keys, and that drives me crazy. So why can't you put your keys in the same spot every day? But because you move them around, that's a fundamental difference to me, and that's why I feel like we can't be together. Well, we were 9 years into our marriage.
So I don't think that's gaslighting. I feel like that's just psychotic.
Okay.
Now, I think if you were apologizing for the keys and you started believing that that's why you had a fundamental difference, then you would be gaslit. But I do feel like I've heard of plenty of instances where you were apologizing for behavior that was not your fault.
So there were times where there was infidelity and I would catch him for whatever reason. And then he would say to me, oh, but I did that because I don't have those feelings for you anymore.
Yes.
And I'm not sexually attracted to you anymore. So I'm thinking, okay, well then he did that because he's not attracted to me. So what's wrong with me? Like, why isn't this person sexually attracted to me? It doesn't make sense.
You were gaslit. You were 100% gaslit. It probably made you feel like shit.
It made me feel horrible.
It's horrible.
And then he went to do this personal development program and wanted me to do it. So I did it after him, and I didn't like it because for me it was like a cult. So I only spent 2 weekends there. I didn't continue the program. And then for years, all I heard was, well, it's not going to work out between us. And this relationship isn't where I want it to be. We're not connected because you didn't finish the program.
Because you didn't finish the program.
Exactly.
Not that there was anything wrong with anybody else.
I thought the program was
You're such a horrible person, Sandra, not finishing the program. Shame on you. That's right.
No, but for years he would tell me why he wasn't sexually attracted to me, and it was always another reason. Well, you're not in the same shape that you were before, or whatever it was, or I did this behavior because I don't have those feelings for you anymore.
That's just horrible.
So that's gaslighting.
Oh, that's really, really it's mind-blowing that you had to deal with that for so long. And I also feel like you've had to deal with this socially outside of your romantic relationships.
Yes.
I feel like I've heard some stories from you in the past. Do you mind sharing one of them?
I had a friend for 30 some years, college friend, actually tell me when I was in the process of adopting my daughter, who was 4 years old when we adopted her, and she was an orphan in Russia. She actually saw me out one night and cornered me at a party and said, I don't think you should adopt her because you're not ready for a second child, and adopting a child is a lot of responsibility.
What a B, not to cut you off.
And you shouldn't be doing this. So I'm all excited about helping this child and bringing her into our family, and she's telling me that I'm not capable.
Did you start questioning whether you were capable or
not? Because then I thought about it, and I'm like, well, I think I'm capable. I think that this is the right decision. And thank God I adopted her because it was the best decision I ever made in my life.
Could you imagine if you had actually listened to this woman? That all being said, have you ever gaslit anybody?
I'm sure I have. I can't remember of an instance, but I'm sure I've gaslit plenty of people. We're human, so we are all guilty.
I feel like it's really easy to do. I do. I think that it's one of those things that we should not be forgiving any of this behavior from these people, but I do think that sometimes it's easier to in your head have one reality and then maybe project that on to other people, especially in relationships, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think we've all done
I'm sure I'm
it.
guilty as well. I can't think of an example right now, but I'm sure I've been guilty.
I think that a lot of times it comes in early stages of relationships, maybe, where, you know, there aren't clear defined lines, and maybe to one person there was infidelity, and to the other person
Yes.
maybe there wasn't infidelity, but it's really easy to turn it to you cheated on me, when really maybe they didn't cheat on you, right?
That happened to me as well. So we had an incident before we got married where he swears I cheated on him and I thought we were broken up. And I heard about that for the next 25 years of my life.
The irony.
The irony. I mean, I just wish that never happened, because I heard about that for the next 25 years.
Isn't it crazy how like one little thing can just become this huge
deal.
issue?
Which I didn't even think that I didn't consider it cheating, because I didn't think we were together, but it was
So
great.
maybe you weren't the gaslighter, he's the gaslighter again. Because now you're second guessing. You're like, I didn't consider it cheating.
Oh, I felt bad for 25
but
years.
You didn't cheat. Yeah,
I didn't think that
you
I
were
cheated, but
gaslit
he said
again.
that he thought that
Yeah.
it was cheating.
And I see the look in your eye. You feel a little guilty about this.
The only reason I feel guilty is because when it happened, that person went and told all of his relatives, told everybody, and it was a small town. So it was
Yeah.
embarrassing for him. That's why I feel guilty. Even though I feel like I didn't really consider it cheating, I felt bad because of the trickle-down effect of it.
That makes sense. I think that a lot of times in everyday life, whether it's like a big issue like this, like an infidelity in a marriage, or even something, you know, little like a communication mishap, like were you late or something like that, I think there's like micro-gaslighting too. Is that a thing? We should make it a thing.
Okay, so
I don't think
micro-gaslighting, what's an example for our viewers of a micro-gaslighting situation?
I think a micro-gaslighting situation would be like somebody gets into an argument, right? And it's about something stupid. Like say I was mad at you, right? And I was like, Sandra, you know, you were 5 minutes late today.
Oh, that
Right?
happens all the time for people.
And I'd be like, Sandra, you were 5 minutes late. And I like was really mean to you about it. Like I attacked you, right? And then you were like, Vida, I'm really sorry, but really you shouldn't be apologizing to me because I completely overreacted to the situation. I shouldn't have flipped out on you for being
So
5
that's a
minutes late. I feel like
micro-gaslighting
to me, that's like a micro-gaslighting. Like it's not gonna define our relationship, but there was a moment of a power switch that shouldn't have happened.
The number one thing I would say is to become aware that that this person's gaslighting you, and understand the signs and the manipulation, and really learn how to love yourself where you're not really, it's not affecting you. So these things affected me for years, but now I've gotten to the point where I have so much self-love that if someone tried to gaslight me, I wouldn't even pay attention to it. In fact, I think someone tried to gaslight me the other night on the phone.
They
Was
did.
that gaslighting?
Oh, 100%. So really,
But I'm not paying attention to it anymore. I'm just laughing it off, or just not paying attention, because I have so much more self-love than I had before.
so you've done all this work and you've learned about gaslighting. For those people who have no idea about it, at what point do you walk away?
You walk away when you have the self-love and the self-worth where you know that you don't deserve this. That's when you're ready to walk away. Now it's Spill It, where we answer your questions and nothing's off limits. Here's one we just got. Hi, Sandra. I was married for 30 years. Toward the end of the marriage, I had some cosmetic work done, and I felt great about the results. Around then, I also found out my husband had been cheating. Since our divorce, I've been getting a lot of attention, and I feel like a new person, but now my ex wants me back. Should I give him another chance or keep moving forward with the new life I've built? Ooh, this is tough. Do you think?
I do, because not to justify cheating in any way, shape, or form. However, we don't know anything about his side of the story.
But what if he cheated the entire marriage?
Or what if like she cheated on him first and then he got retaliation? We just don't know.
Okay, so if she cheated on him first, then give him a second chance.
Yeah.
But if he has been cheating for 30 years, she needs to cut him. And
Oh yeah, I mean, if he's been cheating for 30 years, run for the hills. But I do think that infidelity it's never okay, but I don't think it's necessarily something that all relationships can't move forward from.
They can move forward from it, but we don't know enough information to be able to give her the right advice if she should give him another chance or not.
But as a general rule, leave if they're cheating on you. And there's very tiny, tiny, tiny exceptions.
Like, was it one time? Was it an ongoing affair? Did he fall in love with the other person?
Was it emotional? Did he get drunk and sleep with someone in Vegas? You know, there's so many things where this could go in
let's
different
just break it
directions.
down. If it was an isolated incident and he was just drunk for the night and then was intimate with somebody, that's fine.
And he's remorseful.
And he's remorseful.
And the rest of the marriage is really good and he's never done it before.
Yes. But if it's been an ongoing thing for 30 years, then no.
And it's a bad relationship in general, and then the cheating's just the icing on the cake, just end it. We probably didn't help you at all. We're
But
sorry.
why does he want you back? Does he want you back because you're moving forward, you look great, and he feels like he's missing out?
The thing. You know what? Now that you say that, I've changed my entire stance on this because he didn't love her when she wasn't beautiful with all these procedures. So no, you don't take him back now that you've had this glow up. Absolutely not. Complete 180. I'm eating crow right now. No, relationship's over.
That's it. Cut him.
Yeah, cut.
Thanks for spilling it with us. We love hearing from you. If you've got a question for us, send it in. Trust me, nothing is out of bounds. Share the show with your friends, drop a review, and don't forget to grab my book, From Bullshit to Botox. And follow me on Instagram at Sandra Lena Silverman for behind the scenes, real talk, and beauty tips that actually work. Remember, you have to choose you. See you next time.